This week's benefit breakdown, we're talking about the 2025 small business health insurance rate filings. So I was relieved last week to see that the all the rate filings, all the rate increases that the insurance companies have requested for 2025, those finally got posted. And just wanted to kind of go through them and share my thoughts. I think you're going to see if you just look at the data alone on what they posted, it can be a little bit misleading. So this is why it's really important to work with a broker that's going to be able to kind of read between the lines whenever stuff like this happens. So just to share what's been posted thus far, if you've seen any of my videos before, I commonly refer to ratereview.healthcare.gov because that allows you to see where the insurance companies file for their annual or quarterly rate submissions. And this applies to the small business Affordable Care Act market, as well as the individual Affordable Care Act market. So every year, the insurance companies have to update their rates. And this is one of the public sites that you can go to see the rates. So this is just a screenshot of what's been filed for Georgia. If you know anything about me, we're predominantly in Georgia. Obviously, we have clients, outside of the state of Georgia, but most of our market is in that Georgia market. A few things that you'll notice off the bat is there's a lot less companies on here than there have been in previous years. So right now, as you can see, there's 3 companies that have filed for 2025. Of those 3 companies, 2 have plans that are basically statewide, and the third being Kaiser, which is more of a regional plan depending on where you are in Georgia. For today's call or today's discussion, I'm just really talking about the Anthems and the United Healthcares since they are statewide, and I feel like it appeals to more people. So earlier I said read between the lines. What that really means is if you just look at this screenshot and you see the requested rate change, you'll see that all of them are about 10% or less. So typically, and the screwed up healthcare marketplace that we operate in, 10% or less would be a really well received renewal increase. But if you're just taking that at the surface level, you're really missing out on what that actual impact is. So to take it a little bit further, you need to really understand the market dynamics, which is why I think it's really important that you spend time with your broker having these types of discussions that don't revolve around premiums, talking about the actual dynamics of the market, which carriers are competitive where, why are they competitive, how are they competitive. So the first step of reading between the lines is at surface level, it doesn't look like it's going to be that bad of an impact for 2025, but I strongly believe it's going to be otherwise. The other thing that you really have to notice is all of these companies have a range of increases. So you'll see, just taking the very first one, Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, that current rate of change is either 0% all the way up to 12.6. So what that really means is some clients may not get any rate change based on the plan that they have, and others might get above that average rate increase of 8%. They might get a 12%. And there's a way you can click on the links and see what products those increases specifically apply to help you kind of better understand where it falls in to your specific business and the insurance that y'all may have right now. But to take it a step further, I just want to cite this slide that we did. So we put this out back in May when Cigna Oscar announced its exit from the small business health insurance market. So the purpose of this slide was to just say, if you're in the small business market, so much of that market is price driven. And, if a carrier has a plan that's 5 or 10% less, oftentimes a small business is going to have to make that change based on that small premium difference, just because those premiums have gotten so high in the marketplace. So this was based on the 2024 premiums. And this is just a comparison of what Cigna Oscar's premiums are because they are the most competitive in the marketplace today. Of course, they won't even exist in 2025. But if we're just looking at today's premiums, if you were to compare Anthem or United Healthcare, which those are the 2 companies that did have the rate filings on the previous page, based on their 2024 premiums, you can see Anthem is almost 50% higher and United Healthcare is somewhere between 14 to 17% higher than Cigna Oscar. So this is extremely important because even though this screenshot shows an average rate increase of only 8 or 9%, what an actual business is going to feel is that's 8 or 9% above what the insurance company already has filed for 2024. So what that really means for 2025 is Anthem could be anywhere between 50 to 60% higher than Cigna Oscar, if that's the plan that you have today. And United Healthcare could be anywhere between 28 to 35% higher than the Cigna Oscar premiums that you have today. So it's really important that you work with someone that's going to dig into this and make sure that they're not just touting, oh, it's going to be a minimal increase next year. Because if you have a Cigna Oscar plan and you're going to have to get out of that, the reality is the ACA Affordable Care Act rated small business health plan market could be absolutely detrimental for you to put your business through there. So you're going to need to be working with a broker that understands all the market dynamics. They're willing to explain it to you as well, but they're also willing to do all the legwork that it takes to go out and source all of the alternative solutions that exist outside of that ACA marketplace. That's what we do for our clients every day. We'd be more than happy to do that with you as well. We predominantly work in that Georgia market, but we're able to work in a lot of the surrounding states as well, working with small businesses, medium-sized businesses. That's what we're here for. So if you're outside of Georgia, all you really need to do, if you want to see what that rate filing might look like in your state, is just Google ratereviewhealthcare.gov. It'll take you to that same page. Kind of looks like this. Obviously, you'll click on what state you're in, and then whether you want to look at the small business market or the individual market. That's all I wanted to cover today. Hope you found it informative. Be on the lookout for a webinar in the next month or so, kind of going through all of the 2025 options, ideas, strategies that businesses, between 2 employees up to 300 employees should be thinking about, discussing, and considering implementing. Thanks, and have a great day.